Hua Yong finally marked him. The moment was raw, desperate, and filled with an intensity that neither of them could control. Shang Xiao Yu's life had been slipping away, poisoned and betrayed by those closest to him. His brother's cruel plan to destroy his alpha gland had left him on the edge of death. But Hua Yong, manipulative, dangerous, yet unshakably devoted, refused to let him die. He claimed him permanently. That mark was not just a seal of possession, it was a transformation. Shang Xiao Yu, the proud alpha who had built his life on strength, dominance and control, was now tied forever to Hua Yong. But it was more than just a bond. The mark shifted something deep inside him. The alpha who once stood unchallenged began to feel changes he never thought possible. His body responded differently. His instincts shifted. Slowly, painfully, Shang was no longer simply an alpha. Hua Yong had turned him into something else. Something Shang feared, yet could not escape. Sheng Shao Yu had always been powerful. As an alpha, especially an S-class alpha, he stood at the top of society's hierarchy. People looked up to him, feared him, respected him. His aura commanded every room. His presence made enemies hesitate. And his will had always been unbreakable. But now, as Hua Yong's bond took root, Sheng began to feel weakness creeping into his bones. His once steady body shook with unfamiliar sensations. His instincts no longer surged with dominance but instead with vulnerability. He hated it. He rejected it. Yet no matter how much he resisted, the transformation inside him only grew stronger. His alpha pride had been shattered. For Hua Yong, this was the moment he had waited for all his life. Since childhood, he had desired Shang Xiao Yu with an obsession that no one could understand. But he had known the cruel truth: Shang would never love an alpha. Shang only looked at omegas with tenderness. And so Hua Yong schemed, disguised, manipulated, and destroyed everything in his path just for a chance to have Shang. Now, with Shang marked and his alpha identity breaking apart, Hua Yong finally had what he wanted. He had reshaped Shang's destiny with his own hands. He had turned the untouchable alpha into something softer, something fragile, something dependent on him. To the world, Shang might still appear as an alpha, but Hua Yong knew the truth. Deep down, the bond had rewritten Shang's core. He was his. Not just in name, not just in body, but in nature. Shang Xiao Yu was no longer untouchable. Hua Yong had made him into his omega. Shang could feel it. His body no longer obeyed the rules it once did. The instincts of an alpha, sharp, commanding, unyielding, were drowned out by new sensations. He felt heats flicker at the edges of his mind. Something no alpha should ever endure. His strength waned at moments when he needed it most, replaced by trembling need that left him furious with himself. The once indomitable alpha was now tormented by the instincts of an omega. His pride battled against the reality of what Hua Yong had done to him. Every glance, every touch, every whispered command from Hua Yong stirred reactions in him he could not suppress. He wanted to fight. He wanted to hate. But instead, his body betrayed him again and again. This was worse than death for Shang. To fall from alpha to omega was not just a loss of status, it was a complete breaking of identity. He had been turned into what he never wished to be. And the man who had done it was the one he loved and hated most. For Hua Yong, this was love. Twisted, selfish, but love nonetheless. To him, reshaping Shang's life was the ultimate devotion. He could not bear the thought of Shang rejecting him for an omega, so he had destroyed every other option. By marking him, by transforming him, Hua Yong ensured that Shang would never belong to anyone else. Every moment Shang struggled, Hua Yong stood beside him with quiet satisfaction. Every angry tear, every shout of betrayal, every broken whisper only bound Shang tighter to him. Hua Yong had taken everything from Shang, yet in his mind, he had given him more. He had given Shang survival, he had given Shang life, and now he had given Shang the one thing he never thought possible, the experience of being loved as an omega. Their relationship twisted into something no one else could understand. Shang resented Hua Yong with all his heart. Yet, at the same time, he could not escape the pull of the bond. The more he fought, the more he found himself tangled in the threads of desire and need that Hua Yong had woven around him. Late at night, when the world was silent, Shang would lie awake, trembling with the confusion of who he was now. No longer the alpha who ruled his world. No longer the man untouchable by love. Instead, he was an omega in disguise, trapped in the arms of the very man who had rewritten his fate. And Hua Yong? He reveled in it. He held Shang close, whispering promises of forever, knowing that no matter how much Shang hated him, he would never be able to leave. He had chained Shang not with iron, but with love, desire, and manipulation. To the outside world, Shang Xiao Yu was still the great alpha heir, leader of his family company, and the pride of his bloodline. But only behind closed doors did the truth bleed through. Only Hua Yong knew the secret, that the mighty alpha had been transformed into an omega, bound permanently to him. It was a cruel irony. Shang had always said he would never be with an alpha. And now, though he resisted, though he tried to deny it, he belonged to one. Hua Yong had forced the world to bend to his obsession, and Shang was the price. Shang resisted until his body could resist no more. Slowly, painfully, he began to realize that his fight was hopeless. The mark had rewritten him in ways he could never undo. His life as an alpha was gone. The man he once was had been destroyed. Yet in the ashes of his old self, a new truth emerged. Hua Yong's love, as twisted as it was, burned too brightly to be ignored. No matter how much Shang despised the manipulation, no matter how much he cursed Hua Yong's lies, he could not deny the bond they now shared. His heart ached with hatred and love in equal measure. By the time he whispered Hua Yong's name, trembling in defeat and in need, he realized the truth. He was no longer fighting to escape. He was fighting to survive. And Hua Yong was the only one who could keep him alive. An alpha had been turned into an omega. Sheng Shao Yu's fate had been rewritten by the one man who loved him too much to ever let him go. It was a tragedy. It was a love story. It was both beautiful and cruel. Hua Yong had finally claimed him. And now there was no going back. With one desperate possessive bite, Hua Yong finally bound Shang Xiao Yu to him forever. No more lies, no more distance, just an unbreakable bond that tied their fates together. But was it salvation or the start of something even darker? Their story is far from over, and every secret revealed only pulls them deeper into a world of passion, betrayal, and desire. If you want to see where Shang and Hua Yong's twisted love leads next, stay tuned because this is just the beginning.